Welcome, guys, to the Everything Is podcast, where we talk about everything that matters. We are the zeitgeist, we are the culture, and I am your host, Chidi Bang. And I'm here with my tag team partner, my brother, joint roller Ayatollah, Chris the Most High. Chris, how you feeling today?
As I'm rolling my Latin.
Yeah, of
We
course.
we on a time restraint now. I gotta go to the stove before they close tonight.
Oh no. Okay, so guys,
I'm
we
time monitoring the day,
yeah,
boy.
it's all good. We can't go crazy long like we do usually on Fridays. The ladies have us checked out. We gotta check in with to help out the fam. But doesn't matter because we're gonna be chilling anyways. We have some real
Yeah.
casual conversations, nothing too heavy, nothing too serious. Actually, we're gonna be entering the conspiracy corner today. So should I,
I've been
should I
waiting a
drop it?
long time. Drop it. Let them tell what it is. We'll do it multiple times.
See, Chris has been waiting a long time to talk conspiracy theories, And if y'all know, listen, we are a growing YouTube channel. Like, YouTube is not very friendly about conspiracy theories unless you're Joe Rogan or something like that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but fuck it. Today we are here to talk about everything that matters, and what matters to us is some conspiracy theories, some ideas we have about the world that may or may not be true, but it's interesting to think about. The things that make you think, like, could that
And and
be?
and this ain't no and no disrespect. I don't. This is not secret society or Illuminati. Even though you might dabble in that later on down the road. But
Yeah.
but this is something that has permeated everywhere. Like you're either dumb or really smart when you're discussing
Conspiracy
these
theories.
these
Yeah.
these. It's not only conspiracy theories, but these particular conspiracy theories. Because I know
Yeah.
mine that I've tried to throw upon you. You was like, bro, I'm not even in the mind capacity.
Listen, when it comes to these things, because you got to think about the plausibility of these things, the plausibility, the fact that these ideas, all right, what's like what I always go is, does it sound in my gut like this is real? Does it sound like also that this is what at large many people are trying to do,
Uh-huh.
or hide from us, or whatever it may be, the theory. So I always go that way. And today's name of the show is everything is a hologram, because I have, I think, a conspiracy theory that may or may not even be a conspiracy theory to some people, because I I believe this to some degree, even if it's not accurately whole that we live in a hologram. I think there's levels to, and the research shows that there's some plausibility behind it. And I'm going to get into that today. So that's why because I live I do a lot of spiritual meditation and all that stuff. So the sentiment of controlling your reality and trying to manifest things, it speaks to me. So this is what certain scientists have studied, and I'm going to tell you what I got on my phone of this research that I've gotten from it. And then Chris, he's been trying to get off this clone.
No research at all, brother. Just pure vibes.
Just pure vibes. He just heard it, and it feels like it could happen. It feels like it could be what's going on, and it's I'm not sure if y'all heard, but there's some theories that people have been cloned, human beings. So we're gonna get into that too. But yeah, man. I mean, we can start with the hologram thing if you want.
Yes. Yes. Let's
Because
start with. Let's start with
we
the
do have
let's
a
start with the
hard
hologram.
out, so you can get to the source level. We can just start up.
Go ahead with the hologram joint. Let's see what the research that you found about the hologram as I go ahead and search my Twitter for all my likes of the cloning.
All right. How do I start, man? Okay.
So first of all, let me kind of interview you a little bit and kind of get you ready, right? Do your you mentioned spirituality or spiritual journey.
Mhm.
What kind of lured you into the thought process of we might be living as a hologram, or we are living holograms?
Um, I don't really know. I don't. Here's the thing. This is not like I believe we're in a hologram. I just think that it's interesting to theorize. I think it's
Right.
interesting to theorize because it's sometimes people say we're in a school, we're here to learn. Some people think that life is a dream. Some people think life is a game. You pick your difficulty and you're like, oh, live that thing through and let's see how far you get. You know, because I think what appeals to me is the fact that through a hologram that like to some degree we have chosen to come here and it makes you feel like maybe there's ways to alter the programming, alter the reality you're living, and I think that feeling of having some control and power over the circumstances of your life can be a little bit empowering and soothing to certain people. Now, I'm not saying that it's true. I'm just saying that through my spiritual journey, I have seen that with meditation, you can get rid of certain type of programming that we talked about yesterday. Yes, we talked about programming, and that's what led me to this conversation of, you know, people say that, sometimes we're living in a hologram and, through repeated thoughts, you can alter your realities. And I think people think that, oh, I can just think in my mind, oh, I want a G Wagon, I want a G Wagon, I want a G Wagon, and a G Wagon appears. And that's not necessarily how that's not what they mean when they say, the power of thought or the power of manifestation. So I never thought I'll be talking about that on the pod because, we talk about all types of current events. But fuck it, this is everything is. And I think everybody who's interested in a spirituality conversation can come here and take what you want, leave what you want. I'll be honest with you. There's a bit of things I take from the spiritual community and how and there's things I leave. There's certain things that are very beneficial to, you know, living in the now and living in the present and trying not to like, have anxiety for the future or worry for the future or have guilt for the past things you may have done or shame or whatever, and living in the present so that today you're living your maximized moment. I think that's something that I take with me, and I have to remind myself to live in the now because it's all. If you really think about it, there's no tomorrow, there's no yesterday, there's only now. There's only ever been a now. If you really think about it, so yeah.
What? Explain that to me.
So there's only the past and the future only live in your
Hmm.
mind. They only live in your mind. The only thing that's tangible is the now. I can only, you know, pick up this pen and play with it in the now. Now I can put it down, and the fact that I picked it up is in the past. Like it's not real because it's not something I can. You can't hold the past. You can't hold the future. You can dream. You can put that in your brain. So the concept of the past and the concept of the future are definitely very, very real. But as far as when you say real, as in tangible, um, that's what that phrase means. Now it's like there's only the now only the now has only existed. It's only every single moment, not even second, every moment that passes is what really is happening.
Okay, so with that being said, um, in what okay, what's a hologram then? A
Okay.
hologram is a hologram like in the well, yeah, what like so like
Okay.
so
The
so
concept of the hologram comes from a certain type of these primarily these because there's been a couple of physicists and neuropsychologists that have just like studied this, but um, there's a neuropsychologist by the name of Karl Pribram. I think that's like Pribram, Pribram, Carl with a K,
okay,
Pribram. He's a neuropsychologist, and then there's a neuroscientist and psychologist, Richard J. Davison. They collaborated in the 1980s to bridge the gap between neuroscience and the subjective experience of consciousness. So like, just, being conscious of your reality. And the specific connection revolves around a landmark book and theory connecting the mind and the brain. The collaboration, Karl and Richard Davidson made, a book entitled the the psychobiology of consciousness, right? Now, the theory they presented in the book was proposed that the brain operates similar to a hologram, storing memories and processing sensory information via wave interference patterns and frequencies. So, along with that, their work explored how brain bridges objective neural activity with our subjective everyday experience and reality. So, what you actually are doing versus how you perceive it. That's what they studied. So I asked, I was looking to see if they believe that we live in a hologram in the sense of, we are not real almost, But what I found is that that's not exactly how they perceived it. To understand what they actually believed, you have to understand Pribram's idea split from his work with Davidson's and merged with theories of quantum physics with David Bohm, who is another neuroscientist. So Karl Pribram's view is that he sees the universe as a hologram. He did not believe we live in a simulation or science fiction style hologram. Instead, he believed that objective reality is a vast interconnected frequency domain, a blurred haze of energy waves and interference patterns. Now, I know that's like word salad to some people, but basically what you see as radio waves is what creates all types of matter and our thoughts and our intentions and our mindset as well. So we argued that the universe has hidden deeper layer where everything is entangled as a whole, so we're all connected in a sense, and the brain is like a lens, and argued that our brain interacts as a mathematical lens, that the brain takes those raw cosmic frequencies and translate them into what we perceive as solid objects, space and time. So we're taking in frequencies and our brain projects it, and our eyes are like almost projectors, and that, which is kind of crazy, right? Pribram famously noted that our experience of physical world is kind of a perceptual illusion. If you take away the mathematical processing of our brains, we just be left with boundless interconnected field of wave frequencies. Now, Richard J. Davidson's view is from a more pragmatic neuroscientist perspective. He went on to become a world-renowned pioneer of affective neuroscience and neuroplasticity at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. His work focused on tangible, measurable brain mechanics. So he's more about the actual mechanics of the brain, not some theory, more substantive. He mapped out how specific regions of the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, which is your how you regulate your emotions.
Oh, my niggas, you the motherfucking worst. He got some names
so basically he studied the brain. I don't want to get too bogged down in the verbiage because I know some people, but it's basically how you regulate your emotions. He studied where in the brain you regulate your emotions. Okay. He collaborated with the Dalai Lama to study how meditation physically alters the brain, and he views consciousness through the lens of mental training and well-being rather than quantum physics or cosmic holograms. So they then split in their views of what their holographic vision was. In short, Pribram believed the brain was a holographic receiver decoding a holographic universe, and Davidson looked at it as mathematical models of the brain, but kept his own work rooted in how we can train our brains to be happier and more resilient. And I think that's where I lean on, trying to be more happier, more resilient through meditation. So there's ways that they say we can control our state to live a certain type of way, and I'm going to break it down with you with a little story or a little analogy, or an imaginary scenario. So let's follow In your mind, you can close your eyes if you want. I'm going to tell you about a woman named Maya. And in each step, I'm going to explain to you what the mechanisms are for interacting with this hologram from the David Bohm's perspective, like how the mechanisms work. All right. So first, imagine there's a woman named Maya, and she's a professional jazz pianist who's about to walk on stage for a high stakes concert, right? At first, she's paralyzed with stage fright, but she uses her mind to completely shift her reality. eh, so this is what Maya can do, or this is how she can interpret her reality to, interact with this and create her own version of the hologram. And he uses using each. So this is how she would do it. And there's about four neural mechanisms that you can use. So the first one is resonance, and attention. The concept is that your brain waves are a radio dial. So if you tune the dial, your thoughts change your frequency, tuning you into a different version of the cosmic hologram. So the scenario is that she's standing, waiting to go on stage, Maya. Her mind is racing with thoughts of failure. Her brain is firing chaotic, high frequency beta waves at this time. Now, because of this, she scans the auditorium. She locks in on a critic in the front row who looks bored. Her subjective universe becomes hostile. It becomes cold and terrifying, right?
Okay.
Now, how she can use resonance and intention is she can shift by stopping. She will close her eyes, and she can intentionally. Sorry, we lost Chris. I'm not sure what's going on there, but let me go on to explain. So essentially, this pianist can stop, she can close her eyes, and intentionally visualize a memory of playing music effortlessly as a child. Now, y'all can do this too. Like, say you are going through something in your life, all you have to do is try to. A lot of people say you have to try to remember a good time. I know I deal with and battle with anxiety. And that's the technique that I use. I try to imagine a better time that I experienced and get my mind to calm down. So Maya, she can close her eyes and intentionally visualize a memory of her playing the music effortlessly as a child. This then can shift her neural oscillations into a deeper resonant, following an alpha theta state. So it's a slower pattern of brainwaves. She can calm down by envisioning a calmer time when she was easily playing the music. The result, now when she opens her eyes, is that the hostile energy vanishes. Her brain is now resonant with the frequency of joy. She looks at the exact same crowd, but now she perceives a room full of warm, expectant, and supportive beings. And that's the first technique of your neural mechanism to change the hologram. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that doesn't mean you're living in a hologram in the sense of like, this is not real. It means that this is actually almost more real in the sense that it takes into account your emotions, it takes into account your brain waves, and if you take a moment to then reframe and re-regulate yourself before you do something, even with me, the podcast, me and you, every time, well, before we went to our first pod, I said a little prayer, something like that. A short moment of intention can change the frequencies, thus changing the next moments of that reality.
Okay, so what I'm now from everything that I'm kind of like internalizing is, in the simpler terms, if you think it, you are it, or if you think it, you can place your spirit there to like visit it, and then once that is, I guess, imagined or visualized, then the actions that you take, the steps that you take in the physical, is that kind of
yeah, and
that
the actions you take can be received in a more ideal way that is more appropriate for what you desire. When I say keep loving your heart and spirit, I really mean reset yourself and think about love. A lot of times we get into like spats with friends, family, me and you, brothers, and best friends and all that stuff. And I always tell people who are quarreling, excuse me, I tell them come to the conversation with love, and that
Yeah.
means instead of because it might you because if I don't think you argue with people if you don't have some level of love of something. It might not even be them, but it might be something that you love, right? I might love my son so much that I'm going to the school to argue on his behalf because of the way they talk to him or something, and you got to tap into that love to understand what's best for that person in this conversation outside of yourself. Because a lot of times we're looking out for self sometimes when we're angry and we're trying to get our stuff across. But if you really come from a place of love, I think sometimes that can be felt. So you put yourself in a state of love, then you have a conversation that's very tough. You understand you it tends to go better, rather than oh, I can't stand this person and what they said or whatever it may be. So just that tool of resonance and intention changes the reality moving forward because typically you want it to go well. Whether it's Maya's, performance, you know, she wants it to go well, but she's nervous, right? But that moment of just
Absolutely.
coming and putting herself in a space of calm, a space of relaxed state, can then alter the outcome that would have come had she have not done that. So, in some degree, she's altered her reality. You know, that would have not happened if she didn't choose to take that action. Now, the second neural mechanism is called attention and mathematical lens, and they call this the camera focus. The concept is the universe is a blur of raw data. Your attention is the lens that uses mathematical transformation to crisp up specific objects while leaving the rest unmanifested. As Maya sits at the grand piano, the stage is a blinding wall of stimuli. There's glaring spotlights, coughing, audience members, dust mites floating in the air, and the physical weight of the keys. If her brain tried to process all these frequencies equally, she would collapse from sensory overload. The shift she can
Hmm?
do is apply laser sharp focus strictly to the geometry of the piano keys and the melody in her mind. Her brain's mathematical lens goes to work, performing biological Fourier transformations. Now, me and you, we do this podcast, and for a moment we tune out the world, And not only that, for me to go and edit a clip from this podcast, I have to tune out the world and lock in on that. If I start taking into all the noises I'm hearing and I can't do my best job, on this pod or with editing. If I'm not editing, if I'm with my nephew or if I'm with my family, if I'm keep thinking about work and I'm like, oh, I gotta get back to the pod, I gotta keep, and all the noise in my brain of, oh yeah, I didn't get this done, I didn't get that done. Some days I tell you, yo, just go be with the kids, be with the family, ignore Memorial Day weekend, ignore the work, focus in the moment on what's in front of you in the now, and that changes the reality because the frantic energy of trying to interpret all those energies, all those frequencies of what's going through your brain of what needs to be done can change the current outcome, the current experience.
Now, with that, using the layman's terms of what it is, will was I or will I be living in an outer body type of experience, outer body? Damn, I'm trying to ask the question because now I'm listening to what you're saying. I wasn't there mentally. I was there physically, right? And when you say,
Uh-huh.
we don't have a yesterday or tomorrow, we have us right now. There is a there is a real legitimate psyche or mind. I don't even know what to call it now since we're talking this. Where I put myself
State of
in
mind.
an hour, where I go, yeah, yeah, where I'm acting out something an hour ago or 2 hours ago, or I'm acting out something that did not happen, and like having an alternate.
Oh yeah, you're replaying an alternate reality in your brain that didn't happen. Almost, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. It's like you're almost like looking at the branch
So
of
it
the
makes it,
timelines, like Doctor
yeah, and
Strange.
it triggers like it triggers the hologram situations where you're like, damn, Memorial Day weekend. For me and the wife took the kids down to West Palm Beach, and I left my laptop.
Yeah,
And that was, we had just talked about what we wanted to do, how we wanted to edit, where we was going to go forward. And I lived in that space for the whole weekend, right? So much so that I'm like, we need to get back home. You know what I'm saying? Like we need, like, you know what I mean? Like even after Monday, we're like, hey, what time we leave? It's 2 o'clock. I ain't trying to get back home late.
uh-huh.
And the reason why is because I had already altered the reality of what we were supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
And then realistically, if I don't get back home in time, I alter the reality of something that did not happen already.
Yeah, because you're living in
You
the
know what I'm
past
saying?
and the future.
And the future.
Yeah, yeah, so, and that's why I'm like, yo, just ignore work, sometimes, especially when you're with family, bro, especially on a week, on a holiday weekend, sometimes we're always thinking about work. We don't take the time because this world, especially in this capitalistic society, it beats you down to like, you gotta work, gotta keep working, gotta keep working. If you don't, you're gonna be behind. Trust me, I deal with this all the time because, like,
Because
I
that's
want,
true for us, right? We're in the dopamine business,
mhm,
right? Like
yeah,
if we don't supply,
no one gets
nobody
ahead.
nobody gets to hit. And even if we do supply, because now we're searching it as we put out content,
Yeah,
right? Like we're putting out content and we're like, damn, we need a
then you're
comma next to
frozen.
that. We need a comma next to that. I'm frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen on OBS, but
See, I
on
see. I'm
Discord you're not. I mean, on video you're not. But I can see like the red bars are.
no,
Okay, no, you're
frozen.
back. You're back. You're back. You're back.
I'm back. Okay.
Okay. No,
Okay.
finish what you were
Okay.
saying. So,
No, I was saying that see, the universe trying to freeze me in time right now. Every
exactly.
time we start getting on it, bro, they be
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? But no, I was saying is that
It's a sign to slow
there,
down.
but see, so that's my thing. I think now that I'm here. When we speak about, are we here? Like, you know what I mean? Like when we speak about, are we here? It, not really, because after we do the show, we're already thinking about the edit. Well, then we're already thinking about the schedule. Then we're already thinking about the sleep. Then we're already thinking about the wake up.
Mhm.
Then we're trying to plan the fuck ups in the day. Like, all right, man, I know today gonna be Friday, got no school, so I need to prepare myself for something that has not happened yet. And now all day I'm walking around living, waiting on this so I can react the way I've already thought it out.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it gets a little crazy
it
sometimes.
does. And I think
And
we
my
put a
wife
lot
is
on
like,
ourselves. Yeah.
yeah, she calls me miserable. Like she was like, why you just wake up angry? I'm like, bitch, 'cause I thought about it already. You know what I'm saying?
But sometimes and that goes back to the first, pattern you guys fix. You got to stop, envision a peaceful day first. Like you got to envision, yeah, I'm gonna get everything done and everything's gonna be good in the house. Like and guess what? If it doesn't, I'm still gonna be okay. Like that's the mindset you got to go into things with. Like things are going to fall in line. Because why are we doing this? We're doing this to grow our audience. We're doing this to have fun. We're doing this to talk. We're doing this to educate and enlighten people. What if we put out no content and one day our old video just pops up and it just goes crazy one day? You never know what the universe has in plan. And it's like, oh, I got my peace of mind that day, and we still succeeded. I do believe that if we continue to believe in ourselves, we continue to grow. And but at the same time, we're not putting the pressure on ourselves, so we're casual about this experience. Don't get me wrong, I have a problem with that too. You know me, I'm very like, I want to make sure I hit my times. I want to hit the scheduling too. And I'm not
The
saying like,
benchmark.
yeah, benchmarks. I'm not trying to say, and I said this to you then too. I was like, as long as the intention is there and we're trying our
Yeah.
best, I'm happy. If even if we don't hit the number, you know. And I think that's somehow how I approach life sometimes too. You know, it's like I try to at least. It's like, sometimes you are so focused. I gotta get this. I gotta make sure I do this. I'm gotta make, you know. But if you put the good effort in to try your best at something and you didn't get the result you wanted, sometimes you gotta be satisfied, and you also have to be um, open to things still playing out the way you want, even if you didn't do what you thought was necessary. You just leaving room for that in your mind that things will work out. I think we all struggle with that. I know I do, because I know that putting faith in something is hard sometimes. Putting faith in the future when you haven't done what's necessary or what you believe is necessary, because we don't really know. So those are the things that I try to say. And for you to have a good day, you got to believe that, oh, there's gonna be days that are tough, but I'm gonna get my work done, and it's gonna be a light weight on my mind. Like today, you I know you had a day, but that's why whenever you hit me up and you're communicating, I'm like, yo, go do you. I got it. I'll pick it up the slack, because you are genuinely putting in effort and you're communicating and you want to work and you want things to work. And within that, you deserve to, within the chaos, have a peace of mind. I don't want you to be miserable, and I don't want anybody to be miserable who is putting that kind of weight on themselves. I know that you have wife, kids, and I know a lot of people out in the audience, and people in the world, obviously have a lot of stresses. Even if you don't have wife and kids, it might just be your job, it might just be your dog, it might just be your bills, whatever it may be, that is the weight on you. Like, if I don't get up right now, then I can't achieve. But first, honing in on the now and what's the most necessary thing right now. A lot of times I'm like, I want to get to work, but it's not the most necessary thing. Most necessary thing right now I can do with my time is wash these dishes. It's the most necessary thing I can do right now is spend time with my family. The most necessary thing right now is play this game with my bro, and be present in that. And for a moment, silence the noise of work and everything else around it, because I'm not going to enjoy the experience as much if I constantly am thinking about something in the past or future and anticipating some friction. And what happens when you anticipate friction? Friction typically comes, because of that resonance.
And with that conversation, that's how you feel like, you know, again, a hologram. It's present, but it's not present.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, you
You're
you know,
projecting it in your
and
mind, like a projector, like you're like pushing it out there, and you're creating it almost. Yeah.
yeah, it's and when that projection is now something, my neighbor just had a baby.
Congrats.
And it
Congrats.
yeah, my neighbor just had a baby, and it's his first, but it's his fiance second. And he had a projection of what it would be like having his first child, and then having his parents involved, and the whole grandparent thing. And me too, me as well, and no shade, no disrespect, 'cause my mother-in-law is right here at the house right now, and she does as much as she can when she can do it. But I remember being at this lady house all the time. This is my grandma right here, you know what I'm saying? I used to be at my grandma house, all that lived there. That was my address. That was my school district address. Even though my mom, we had a house, around the way and everything
Okay.
like that. So, like, being at my grandma house, or when I used to go down to my dad, and my dad had to work, and clearly I'm at my grandma house, right? So, like, that's the core memory, and that's the core relationship that has been. What generation are we?
Millennials.
What generation? Okay, so that's the generation, I believe, that last had that memory. like to have that. So as we grow up and we have the projections and we thinking of what grandparents are supposed to be or what grandparents are right now, my mom, my mother-in-law, she's still working. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my mom, she at one
Yeah.
point in time she was still working. Like, you know, you get the idea that grandparents is old and I ain't got shit else to do but watch the grandkids and go to, Sunday school service. Like, nah, man, like,
Yeah.
these grandmas 50. They
Yeah.
still trying to go out to happy hour still, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like enjoy a cruise, whatever the case may be. Like the obligations of things have changed. And so my man's is they was only here for like a week and a half. And he was like, I'm by myself. I had to get into my mind that like, we're on our own. And,
Yeah.
as a person who's been, a father of three, and for majority of this journey, we are, on our own. The majority of our godparents are, out of state.
Yeah.
My brother right here, Patty, Vanessa, Cassie, Rich, OG Dave, all our godparents, our grandparents are not close by. My mom's in New York, my dad's in Alabama, her mom's down in West Palm, her dad's down in Kendall. So like that immediate like call upon, that immediate kind of outreach, we're leaning on our neighbors. We're leaning on, you know what I'm saying, people that we find within the community
Yeah.
at school or whatever the case may
Takes a
be. And
village.
that's
That's what they say.
yeah, man, and building a village takes trust,
It
right?
does.
And so with that presence, right, of being present, yesterday I sent you a video. I got my neighbor's kids in the backyard. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she had an important work meeting with her VP, and she was like, "Hey, kid, we do the carpool thing with the kids and everything like that." The trust is there. The presence of has to be there, right? Like
Hmm.
I have to disassociate
Yeah.
everything that I got going around because I got 5 kids in the house right now. You know
Yeah.
what
That's
I'm saying?
wild. It's wild.
You know,
But yeah, you have to
and
be locked in.
I never envisioned myself like I never, and I started thinking, right, like, nigga, this is really you, cuz like you really are a neighborhood dad, like you really are having bounce houses in the backyard and
Yeah.
water fights and you know what I'm saying, bike outside watching kids ride the bikes and ride the scooters and shit like that,
It's
like
a beautiful thing, man. Honestly, for real.
and thinking back, right? So talking about the thinking back, like when I first moved to Florida, nigga, nowhere in the world that I thought that was what I was gonna be and who I was gonna
Yeah.
be and what I was gonna be doing.
And
You know
that's
what I'm
where,
saying?
yeah, and that's where I kind of like um I depart from a lot of the manifestation talk of, you're gonna get this specific reality if you think about it. It's not that. It's more of how you receive the world in those moments of what your reality is. It's more how that's how I look at how you receive the day you're going into, how you receive when the kids are there, and you suddenly says, "Hey, the kids are here," and you show me, and then you lock in with the kids, and I know already like, oh, what that's gonna be like. So I'm not even sweating you, like I'm not even trying to bother you, like, but it allows you to not be worried about me, and it allows you to be present with them, like that's real. Let me lock in on the freaking notes so I don't get it wrong.
You got it.
That's
Okay, okay,
that
you
no,
got it.
that's real attention and and living in the now, if you really think about it. So props to you for like, first of all, being okay with what you didn't expect. And then also being able to handle it because there's a lot of blessings in what we didn't expect, people. Like a lot of times like, damn, I didn't get that job, I didn't get that car, I didn't get that girl, or I didn't get that guy, whatever it may be, but there's a lot of blessings that comes in that. One thing about relation, me, I'm single right now, right? I'm so happy with the free time I get to do things like this and be attentive and do some of the work when my bro can't do it and tap in, because I have the luxury of giving more time to different creative projects and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, like one day I'll get back out there, but that there's a yin and yang to everything, and I like to live in the whatever the bright side is of that situation. I'm not sure if it's the yin or yang, but I think yeah, I will live in the bright side of my current circumstances to get through it with enough grace and perspective, so I can deal with the now. in the best way, so I can have the best outcome moving forward, rather than being down on myself, because of whatever I don't have or want. And I think a lot of times with social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it may be, TikTok will show you lifestyles, things that you want. It knows exactly who you are and what triggers you and what pushes you and what makes you want to live and what interests you. And you're gonna be like, damn, I'm not doing that. You know, yeah, I know we've all felt that. Damn, why can't I have that? Why can't I do this? And the truth of the matter is, you're missing while you're doing that. You're missing the blessings that you do got sometimes. And I don't want anybody to miss that. So continue to live in the now and use the mathematical lens to, just like Maya, zone in on those keyboard, zone in on the notes that you need to hit, so your brain can calm down and take in what your gifts are. And I got
Oh
um,
yeah.
two more neurological um, tips. I'll just say tips. The third one is coherence through meditation, the clear laser. That's what I try to do. Stress creates scattered conflict brainwaves, like a flashlight. Meditation synchronizes those waves into a single powerful beam, like a laser, projecting a harmonious reality. The scenario: halfway through the first song, let's say Maya is halfway through the first song and she strikes a wrong note, right? Instantly, her amygdala sounds the alarm. That's her emotions in the brain. Sounds the alarm. Different regions of her brain start firing out of sync. Her left hemisphere is panicking about the error, while her right hemisphere is trying to remember the chords. The hologram of her performance begins to stutter and feel clumsy. So it's almost like she's like bringing up the mistakes and making more mistakes. Now, relying on years of mindfulness training, which Richard Davidson studies, she takes one deep breath and one rhythmic breath, excuse me, and she anchors herself in awareness in the present moment, instantly synchronizing her prefrontal cortex and her emotional centers. So just a moment of meditation can just take all that noise and that fluctuations and synchronize it into one beam again. So that's another tip and tool, is to use meditation to synchronize yourself into, how do they put it? Into one powerful beam. It's meditation synchronizes waves in your brain into one power beam, like a laser, rather than a flash out which spreads out. you know. So the result will be her entire brain enters a state of high global coherence. The scattered flashlight of her mind becomes unified into a laser. Instantly, the music smooths out. The mistakes seamlessly absorb into a brilliant improvised transition, and her hologram of her performance becomes flawless again.
Okay.
And then the number 4 is overcoming perceptual illusion. And we were talking about this yesterday when it comes with the programming. We were talking about this when it comes to how you perceive the scenario, whether it's the reckless band situation, or whether it's how it is being black in America, or whether how the apathy when it comes to the political climate, how we receive all that stuff. It goes to overcoming perceptual illusion, because even though it may feel like we have no control, even though it feels like some things might be menial things, um, the perception makes it real. So the concept is that the brain tricks us into thinking that we are separate from the world. Realizing the universe is interconnected allows you to stop reacting blindly to external threats. Near the end of a concert, the loud feedback screeches. Near the end of Maya's concert, a loud feedback screech erupts from the venue speakers. To a normal performer, this external object is an enemy disrupting their show. It creates an instant reflex to cringe, stop playing, or get angry. The shift. Maya operates from a holistic awareness. She doesn't see herself as a separate entity reacting to a separate speaker. She recognizes that she, the piano, the audience, and the accidental noise are all a part of the exact same unbroken holographic web of the evening. Instead of fighting the illusion of a disruption, she leans into it. She holds a long, echoing piano chord that perfectly harmonizes the frequency of the speaker screech. The audience gasped, thinking it was planned, avant-garde, a musical choice, by refusing to treat the environment as separate from herself. She completely masterminded the hologram. So that's her story, and this is a made-up woman, of course, but it gives you a perspective on how we can deal with the external world, the things that we can't control. That last tip, and how we respond to it. And what I try to do is be an alchemist in a sense. I know that might sound weird, but when I take in a bad information, I will try to see how I can, you know, work with the energy of that into finding the good, even though as hard as it may be, or how to prevent something like that bad from happening in the future. So my mind goes to that usually, and I'm still working to become better at that. But through meditation, through that, I'm now trying to. And I have my ups and days and down days. I deal with anxiety, but I thought it was interesting to speak about because we're talking about programming and how we can unwire programming, um, to live a better reality. And in a sense, the hologram is not that all of this is necessarily fake, like the first scientist was saying, and that we are just projecting everything out, but more of like how we respond to our environment to create a new reality. Because after Myers' performance, she gets a standing ovation. In my mind, I'm thinking she gets a standing ovation because of all the you know tools that she may have used to get through that performance. Whereas before, she was extremely nervous and going into it might have reacted to the noise outside of her mind, reacted to the bored person in the crowd, not being able to focus on the keys when there's all the bright lights and the light, all that stuff could have overwhelmed her senses. But using those neurological um, techniques, you can really hone in on your life and be a more of a, what's the word, more of an intentional projection, I guess, of the hologram.
Now, my brother did a very great job presenting the smart side of this conversation.
Here we go. Let's hit it.
Are we living as holograms? Because now, as we talk about it, the conversation gets more in that when you do bring in this type of person, right? Because the question will be scientifically, you can prove it. Scientifically, it has happened. Scientific, it didn't, and it wasn't with the LED bright shining lights, and it wasn't it. Technology has allowed us to really watch Tupac on stage.
Yep, it has
Like,
happened.
like really
But
fresh out of
it's
jail, California dreaming.
but are you trying to tell me Tupac is alive and well? That's what I'm trying to ask. Like,
Well,
there's a
I'm
difference between
trying to.
seeing a hologram of Tupac on stage and seeing a full walking around red blooded skinned version of you know
Okay, so now, if we're not
of Machiavelli.
holograms, are we clones?
Me, I don't think I'm a clone.
Well, not. I mean, not now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe you were a clone. I don't know about you. I don't know.
Well, okay, so no, but the reason why the reason why I am
You got to
asking.
explain to me the clone theory because I really have never dove really into this theory and why people believe this
It's
is
been.
a.
This ain't just like a new age outlaw thing. Like niggas been talking about. We've been clones since the 40s.
But
You know
they
what I'm
couldn't even
saying? But
clone. See, I mean, maybe I'm just naive,
we
but
couldn't clone what?
You couldn't clone people until the 90s when they cloned that sheep. That was like the first biological thing that they was able to clone was this. I forget the name of the
So
sheep.
so well, I believe the
I remember
sheep.
learning about that when
I
I was in elementary school. Yeah,
they cloned Dolly the sheep
Dolly.
in
I knew the name. I was gonna say Dolly.
Dolly the sheep in 1996.
Okay.
Now the now to the but this is my okay. So we have these conversations a lot, right? And because Rich, he feeds into some of my conspiracy theory stuff because he's like, if it's put in a movie, nigga, they already done it.
A lot of people think that.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, you about right, nigga, cause they know. Like, because now we're talking about, as we speaking, we
Oh
were just
man,
talking about, we were just talking about holograms, but the imagination,
I'm
right?
gonna get to that.
There is so much plausible deniability when you're combining the two conspiracy theories that we're speaking about tonight, right? A hologram is a projection of light, realistically, right? And the reason why I brought up the Tupac thing with no, um, because if you combine the real things that are quote unquote holograms, like um, uh, Pepper's ghost, okay, and that was essentially what that Tupac thing is, or what that Michael Jackson, hologram is, and I'll explain it. I got some research too, my guy. It's a 19th century theater trick. 19th century theater trick using a hidden stage, bright lights, and a sheet of glass or film to reflect a 2D image. Now, as you stated, that the ability to successfully clone wasn't into 1996, but that's not necessarily the ability to think and scientifically try to theorize and make not these hypotheses, but like real stone cold scientific facts, right?
Hmm.
So as you stated in 1996, there has been a biological, like you said, a mammal biologically did now clone.
Yeah.
As we then move on to and the more sci-fi right style of holograms, it shows, it displays you walking entirely around and viewing things from different angles, and that can kind of be perceived like through VR. You know what I'm saying? Like when you put on goggles or when you use that, virtual reality gaming and stuff like that, you essentially put your thought process, the brain waves, right, into uh, um, a game, and you can
Do you?
look around. Well, I mean, what? Okay, so let me. What is
I mean, I
what?
know
I've
me and
never.
you. We've used the Oculus. Rich had it, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
He
yeah.
brought it over the crib, and I was over here. You guys recorded me doing that shit. I'm like, is it recording my brain? Like that's what you thinking?
Well, the only reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not the only one noticing. Why your headphones are coming back, are they not? Like there are a lot of
Oh,
prominent people, and especially athletes, from where I've noticed it from,
okay.
where the radiation from Bluetooth headphones are, and there's a patent, I believe, for Bluetooth headphones to read the brain waves. Let me, and I'm not even. Hold on. Uh,
You
I
scaring me,
feel
man.
like I
I'm
can get
wearing
it.
Bluetooth right now. I
Is
mean,
there?
I know that wired headsets, especially Apple, they have a big mic on them. That's what I know. But maybe that's why people have been using them. But I don't know about brainwaves being read by Bluetooth headsets.
Yes,
I haven't
there
heard it.
is several patents for Bluetooth headsets and earbuds designed to read brain waves. This technology uses EEG sensors built directly into earpieces to measure a brain's electrical activity. Apple's brain reading earbuds. Apple has filed several patents detailing technology that equips earbuds like AirPods with EEG electrodes to monitor brain activity. The goal is to detect neurological conditions like seizures, track sleep patterns, and potentially control devices using neural sounds, neural signals. I'm sorry. Portable brainwave Bluetooth headsets. Multiple hardware developers have filed patents for consumer-ready Bluetooth headsets with built-in brainwave sensors, signal filters, and amplification chips to transmit EEG data wirelessly to a smartphone or computer. So,
What is
go
what
ahead.
is?
Yeah.
Can you find out what's the purpose of that? Like, what is the purpose of the patent? Like, why do they need the
What
brainwaves?
is the purpose for the data of the brain? Let's see. Um, the brainwave data collected by Bluetooth headset is used to monitor cognitive wellness, track neurological health, and build hands-free device interfaces. Now that's all of the stuff that they are
Marketing.
publicly marketing and
Mhm.
saying, right? Like, like, and that's the reason why the tinfoil hat guys seem to always have a job, right? Because realistically, when 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 we are when we're just talking about it, if we can have control, mind, body, spirit, of how we think, of how we believe, how we then act, we might then be able to be cognitive and cognizant of our surroundings and find like-minded people and then build upon, like, we're not
Okay.
interrupted. You know what I'm
Let,
saying? Like, we're not.
I'm gonna follow you. I follow you.
And
And
the reason why
so,
I'm extrapolating is because we got data centers popping up all over the place. We have
yeah.
the cloud, right? So, and we don't, again, not knowing that when we put in Bluetooth headsets or headphones, that brain cognitive waves are being, and we don't know if it's being not only tracked but kept.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, just throwing
So,
shit out.
no, no,
So
100%. I'm following you. So, if they keep someone's brainwaves, do you think they have memories? It's just a wave pattern.
no, yes. Because my thought, now this is where my thought process of clones come in from,
That's
and
where I'm at. Yeah. Trying to follow.
the reason why it's becoming a little bit more tech with the technology we're speaking of, right? Some, when you watch certain movies and they bring, or what TV shows, when it's brought up, it's like a clone that doesn't have the memory. We're about to watch Vision Quest, right? Vision Quest, and at the end of WandaVision, White Vision did not have memory. He did not have memory or data of Vision's life, and I believe once that entered, it changed him. He was no longer controlled. He was no longer just this. And I have to go back and I'm freestyling here, but I believe White Vision was just like a damn near like a murder for hire type of fucking um. Damn, I'm talking now. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Because listen, I'm here
And
with you, bro. I'm like,
Wanda Vision with White Vision. Okay. Hex Vision confronts White Vision, who was rebuilt by Sword. Okay, I knew it. Sword built Vision with no. That's what I'm trying to say. Sword had built a White Vision, and when they built Vision, they built him with no memory. Like, they built him with like no data of the other of the Hex Vision or Vision or whatever the case may be. I do really remember that. And then, like, something happened. He like pressed the thing here, or he pressed the button here, or something. Like, he absorbed all of the data, and he's like, like awakening type shit. You know what I mean? But to your point of you asking about why keep the wavelengths and things of that nature, the point, like, I don't believe we are cloned, but we have the ability to be cloned on our little license thing that has organ donor. Like, so I'm just thinking stuff like,
Okay.
like stuff like that, or
Well,
when or whatever the case, or um,
I'm
yeah.
following you. So I put in, can a memory be deciphered from a brainwave? Just put that into Google, right? And what it said to me is that a memory can be deciphered from a brainwave, but it is not as simple as reading a text on a screen.
Correct.
Neuroscientists use AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning decoders to translate the complex electrical patterns of your brain into identifiable thoughts, words, and images. Instead of reading a universal mind code, modern technology deciphers memories by matching your unique neural signatures to specific concepts. Uh,
Quick question. Just before you, I just want to ask you: does this might seem like if we're wearing a headset or a Bluetooth and we're listening to music or watching a video or coming across something like that? When we say our phone is listening to us, or like they're reading our minds, like we've said that before, realistically, is it how our brain peaks when we see a certain ad? Is it because how our brain peaks, or the way, like when we're listening to a certain song, or like, or when we come across a certain photo? Like, is that what I'm reading from what you're, if that's what I'm receiving from what you're reading? Is that you're
well,
picking up with that?
I don't know, man. I'm lost, bro. I'm like when you keep going down a rabbit hole, you can go so many different ways. But it says scientists have successfully deciphered several distinct types of memory data. Sleep replays. Research from the University of York shows that when you sleep, your brain experiences rapid bursts of activity called sleep spindles. AI can look at these spindles and decipher which specific memory you formed during the day that your
Mm.
brain is currently moving into a long-term storage. Um, Visual reconstruction by pairing brainwave data with generative AI tools like Stable Diffusion. Researchers can decode the visual cortex activity to literally reconstruct images or video clips a person is actively viewing or remembering. That's just crazy. Language and thoughts. When people recall or imagine words without speaking them out loud, AI can isolate linguistic information from the alpha, beta, and theta frequency bands to generate continuous text of their internal monologue. So they can read your thoughts.
They can read your thoughts.
Now this is worse than cloning to me. I'm like, because I don't believe in the cloning shit, but they can read your thoughts. That's crazy. Then they know what you're gonna do before you do it.
Which, I mean, which goes back to predetermining and living within a hologram, right? We can tie it all together, right? Like, if they can, if someone can control, if someone can control how you think, right? Like, realistically, like, we're not talking about propaganda and everything like that. If you, off the free will, are utilizing a piece of technology that then, which we all do, receives your facial recognition, right? We're on camera right now, going out into the ethos of coding that we have no articulation about. But when AI generates us, we're gonna be like, we didn't authorize that. We didn't whoop de whoop, or whatever the case may be. They're creating a version of a hologram of us with that. And if
Yeah,
they have our voices,
yeah.
and if they have our thoughts, they have a cloned version of us
Digitally.
digitally,
Now it
which
says
which
No, no,
again,
go ahead.
something that's digital can form in the physical as we just articulated,
Low key, what I think about with this cloning thing, before I get to the limitations of what I just said, because there's limitations on this reading new brainwaves to recreate memories. But before I get to that, what I think of with this cloning thing is more of, I don't get why they would want to clone certain people. I just don't get it. I don't think there's a benefit to that outside of, but because I don't think that's like people say they clone Jamie Foxx, they clone Kevin Hart. Like I don't believe that stuff. But what I do believe that this technology would be used for is for them to clone Elon Musk. So Elon Musk can be immortal, essentially. Like that's where my mind goes. That's more of a plausible use of cloning. Let's clone Elon Musk, get all his data in AI, and put and reboot that into the. They're already doing the Neuralink, so you put in a chip in your brain so you can now interact with interfaces within your mind. That's
but
wild to me.
you saying that as if the nigga Walt Disney head hasn't been frozen for decades.
That's
I'm
crazy to
trying to
me.
say
Is it real? Is that
that's
real?
what see. Let me check it out, nigga.
See that I'm not
We
sure if that's a
here.
conspiracy. Like
See?
I know I've
Okay,
heard
nigga,
that. I
we
know on
put it out,
Futurama,
nigga.
in Futurama, in Futurama they had all the jars in the head.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro.
So I
It's out there in the open, my nigga. This is what I'm trying to say. And if it's not, they are causing plausible deniability because it's in a cartoon. You dumbasses believe a cartoon? You see what I'm saying? Like they force people to be like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Put it right in front of us. You don't see it. You don't see them making a joke of it right in front of us. You don't see it. And niggas be like, no, bro, Futurama's just a funny ass show, nigga. And niggas be like, okay, but what about The Simpsons? And niggas be like, well, okay, what about Family Guy? Okay, well, what about American Dad? Like if the joke keeps repeating itself, my thing is either the creator knows that it's working, or the creator knows that this string is something that niggas would never pull on long enough, you know what I mean, to see what's on the other side.
I also will counteract that with a point that is also another conspiracy theory.
Huh?
Some is people who have out of body experience that said that this is just one of the worlds. Like there's many worlds, right? And everything in media is of frequency sound waves that come into consciousness because it actually exists in another world. Like there is actually, a world of the Greek mythology, a world of Atlantis. These are things that actually exist in another state of consciousness, essentially. And people who have out of body experiences who have almost passed away and came back, they're like, listen, like there's so many levels to this thing. And almost that when they have died and came back, what they experienced was way more real than what we are experiencing. So like that's a whole nother like I can't even get into OBEs right now because it's a whole wormhole that I went down that honestly it's scary, but it's also a little bit comforting because we know, like I say, like always this life on Earth is temporary, like so it's comforting to know that there is something after death, and that's why I listen to it sometimes just to see if there's any validity to that, or do I hear do they seem
So,
real to me? When they talk.
well, so this is the and so this is where fable and this is where fable and legend and myth creates. So you Google and it says no. Walt Disney had it's not frozen, but this is the thing. Why was it plausible? Because they said, and he was a famous futurist who died right as the science of freezing bodies was hitting the mainstream.
Okay.
Now, to this point, he,
Cryogenics.
the timeline of cryogenics did not take place until January of 67, I believe. And that's a month after Disney's death, right? So, like, but my thing is, if you're on a precipice of a scientific Um,
I think if Elon Musk were to just suddenly pass away, we would be saying, "Oh, they're creating a robot version of cloning him." Like, I think that even if they weren't, though,
what would make Elon Musk a futurist?
this dude
What
has
has proven?
SpaceX, he has Tesla. Everything he does is futuresque. You know, everything he does, he's a.
That's not him creating though. I'm like Disney. So I'm living
I
in
think
a
that's more
city.
futurist than Disney to me.
No, no.
To me,
I'm
creating a space to go to Mars is way more
did he
futurist to me.
did he create it?
Or
Did
funding it, like
no
that's the whole.
funding it is no. So that's a I will fight back on you. Funding and founding are two different things to me. Founding is a thought of an idea that I worked to put in place and brought people into to
But
bring my vision
that's what he
into
did.
fruition.
He wants the SpaceX idea is his idea. You know,
Uh,
he's just not the one building these rocket ships, or he's not the one making everything happen physically. But yeah, it's his idea. SpaceX is his idea. Or that, or he at least, or he
um,
stole it from somebody, and he's very passionate about it either way.
so he's okay. How okay? A futurist can be described both as a theorist and a builder. So the visionary builder, I guess, rather than just writing or speculating about the future, Musk uses his engineering and business background to actively build projects like Neuralink, a brain-computer interface. We just talked about, right? We just literally talked about,
Hmm.
and that it. So come on,
So he's a futurist.
right?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, I mean, Optimus, which is a humanoid robot, aim to shape the trajectory of human evolution in daily life. Philosophical long termism, his forward looking perspective aligns heavily with these are words that niggas are just making up. Long termism? Cheating. 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 Long termism?
Long termism, tendonism,
Nah, brother.
long
Nah,
term falling off the bone.
this nigga, Elon Musk got niggas writing shit for him, bro.
Yo,
Uh, I'm about to I'm about to ask: is Elon Musk considered the same as Disney as a futurist?
he's more of a
Um,
futurist than Disney. I'm gonna say, is Elon Musk more of a futurist than Disney?
I'm telling you, this nigga had a vision and built. Celebration the City is Disney. That was his vision of the
He's
city.
that's a creative. He's a
That
creative.
but I'm saying the what I'm yes, but he had a vision in the future for the land of that populates multi-billion dollars today. That nigga was absolutely out this world with the with the thoughts, nigga.
Okay, so it says Elon Musk is an applied futurist. He's an engineer, entrepreneur focused on building literal physical technology designed fundamentally to change how humanity operates as a futurist. Walt Disney was a visionary and a creative futurist. Disney shaped the future by dreaming up societal ideals and capturing the public's imagination. So it depends on how you define it.
Yes, so Disney, and to your point, and this is where we say optimistic harmony and existential survival, right? Disney's futurism was rooted in a mid-century optimism, focusing on comfort, harmony, and progress. Musk's futurism is driven by urgency and existential risk, right? Focusing on saving human consciousness from AI threats or planetary collapse. How the fuck do you consider him of nigga? Are we able to get on SpaceX? Like he's creating something for him to go to for him and
But that
niggas
doesn't mean
with
you're not a
dreams.
it's not the future
Hold on.
futurist.
But you said for humans, though. Like this now. This is what we're talking about now.
Futurist is future. It doesn't nothing to do with like for everybody. Like it means just the future. And if you're making like chips to go in people's brains, that's a futurist thing. So when you talk about cloning, I think that all of that Yeah, he might be like, oh, I can become immortal. I can just use the neural link to put my ideas and my personality into that, and then clone myself and I'm a trillionaire.
But
So like,
so for you thinking that he does that, do you not think that for you thinking that
dude is the
Musk is
real
this
life
delegate?
Bastion of the X-Men '97. He's Bastion. He's creating a whole force of, you know, X-Men robots to take over the world. This dude is weird, bro. He's like a villain. He's like a real life villain.
But to your point though, has that ideology ever been available before him for us to not think that it's been utilized before what he could create?
No, I think absolutely, possibly. I'm not gonna say no, but what I'm saying is it's more likely that I see it used in that manner of clothing than, oh my God, Jimmy Fox had an accident. We didn't see him for a while. He probably's a clone now. Like that to me doesn't really resonate as much. I think it's more likely that the elite are going to use cloning to be immortal, to never, never die.
I mean, for you to say what you're speaking of and say that they won't use it, they won't use it for Jamie Foxx or Kevin Hart or Will Smith or Janelle Monáe or whoever else the motherfucker then just can't. Nigga, Trippie Redd said I'm a third gen clone. I'm like, why the fuck they cloning Trippie Redd? You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to figure out, what I'm trying to figure out is why so much niggas know about cloning, nigga, and what the fuck is going on. That's my thing. Like my thing is that like
If
for
they're cloning Janelle Monáe, just make me a version of Janelle.
she said it's three of her.
Oh
Oh,
God.
she said it's one for the music, it's one for my family, and it's one for outside. I'm like, bitch, what an outside your name at?
Preach, yeah.
What,
Let me
what,
get one order of outside Janelle Monáe, please.
oh, you know what? And how we about to pay for it? With the time, nigga, I'll give up 3 years.
Yo, man, Janelle's fine as hell, bro. Oh man.
But to this now, so to our so we've saw the movie Out of Time or End of Time or whatever that joint is with Justin Timberlake. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Have you seen that
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, with that being something that has been made of, right? And we talk and we see that there's a social face card, like and where's that? China? I don't want to disrespect. Is it China or Japan? I think it's China that has the facial social score.
Oh
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, they really do that
there's
now? I didn't know that. That's
you didn't
like
think that?
they did a episode of Black Mirror where they had a social score and it was called like just like she's pretty much just
I think
crashed
they do it.
out and
I think China has a social
she
score.
ended up losing her job, losing her boyfriend. Like she became a complete mess. Because she just made a little mistake here, a little mistake there, and then she just looked like a complete loser by the end of the episode. It's one day, her whole life was fun.
It was China. Yep.
That's
China is the
crazy.
country that utilizes a highly controversial social credit system integrated with massive national network of facial recognition cameras. The
This
system
world
operates
is
through mass
so
surveillance.
weird. Oh my god.
China has extensive network with AI powered surveillance cameras, sometimes called Skynet. Again, something that we saw in Terminator 30 years ago. Niggas was already talking about that shit. But anyway, yeah, they use Skynet cameras equipped with real time facial recognition. And so what it does is behavior tracking. Right, these cameras monitor daily activities. They flag infractions such as jaywalking or anything like that, or track individual behavior. And there's rewards and penalties with it, right? Data collected is used to assess an individual's trustworthiness.
Wow.
Citizens with higher scores are rewarded access to better schools, easier
Whoa.
travel visas, and etc. While those with low scores face penalties like restricted access to loans, public transportation, and certain jobs. While there is no single unified national score for every citizen, the government uses local pilot programs, algorithms, and vast amount of personal data to monitor and regulate both corporate and individual behavior. So, when we're talking about our president and said futurist Elon Musk was on that motherfucking plane in China, I'm trying to figure out what the data chips and the flock cameras and the this and the that and then all that.
Yeah, how it all
What
comes
the
together.
fuck
Yeah.
are we talking about right now?
Oh
Like,
my
what are
goodness.
we fucking talking about?
The surveillance state is gonna be is already crazy if you really think about it. That's insane. I did not know that about China, honestly. I did not know that about. This is Black
Shout
Mirror,
out to
man.
shout out to educating the ignorance.
Yeah.
And to your point, Black Mirror. Back to the point of the conversation of where they play video games. If you watch the episode, them niggas put shit on a temple and they put themselves into a video game, acting to what I was talking about of the joint. Niggas really do put on that VR, nigga, and get a pocket pussy and think that they fucking Jada Fire, cuh. Like they put themselves in a reality where them niggas are slaying Roxy Reynolds, my nigga. Minnie the Stallion. I sound like Unc on here, nigga. Just name it.
Oh my god. Isn't that something, bro? No, but like when it
So
comes to even the AI stuff, like you're gonna, I feel like we're going to a place where we are controlled by our surveillance completely. They now have the social score, so you're now socially conditioned over time
yep,
to be a
yep,
robot.
yep,
Then if you're
yep.
not a robot, they can just make a version of you that is, or make a version, or let's say they make a version of you. They can just take an image of you and just show a video of you doing some fuck shit and ruin your social score.
Bro, and ruin your social score. Or they can literally do this, and this is the most plausible thing that you can that this is the most plausible thing right here, Chidi, about cloning us. They can program us, the living, breathing one-time person of us, and clone us into a person that we do not believe ourselves to be.
That's
Right?
so crazy.
We fight all the time with like, I'm a creative, I'm a this, I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly. And they have cloned your, they have programmed your mind and cloned yourself into like, nope, gotta get up by 6 o'clock, gotta work from 6 to 6, and I get a 30-minute lunch break, and then I got an hour and a half drive to work. I got an hour and a half drive home. By the time I get home, I'm cloned to where I have to eat cloned food because
Oh
I
my.
can't cook real food.
Or
I have
not
to
even
go
eat
get
clone
cloned
food.
food.
Just take Ozempic because that turns off your stomach basically. And you listen. If you were to take Ozempic, you wouldn't even want to smoke weed. I dead ass. You don't like it curbs all types of habits, addictions, patterns completely. You don't have any urges at all. You don't have the urge to even have sex. Like that's how crazy Ozempic is becoming. So there's like little things that have been tested on people right now that I'm just like, I don't know. It just doesn't make me feel quite right. You know what I mean?
So you can now. So like you saying, when we watched the movie, they cloned Tyrone. Um, you know, they cloned us eating the chicken. Stop eating the chicken. Everybody stop eating the chicken. Right? You think about stuff, and bro, they cloned Tyrone came out after the Popeye's chicken sandwich, right? The pop No lie, bro. Like
Nah,
if you
the
like no lie, the Popeye's chicken sandwich during the pandemic, nigga. I watched they clone Tyrone, nigga, when we bought our house. That was at least a year and a half, 2 years tops. So what I'm saying is that they the way that they have conditioned us to be like, ain't no way they motherfucking making us crazy with these fucking chicken sandwich. Why they made us crazy with these motherfucking chicken sandwiches? And then you be like, nah, nigga, they ain't doing. Ain't no reason why they cloning Jamie Foxx. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. But I can guarantee you this: ain't nobody ever asked. Jamie Foxx, where that tattoo went at the back of his head.
It's gone.
You seen it?
I mean, I don't really pay attention to the James Bond. I said
I
so.
mean, but the nigga in movies and everything that he wear ain't a wig and he ain't got no hat on. So I do remember
There
when
is makeup in movies though, in case the characters
I,
they don't
well,
want
it ain't no
a big
makeup in
ass
real life.
tattoo. Huh? No, I don't pay
Oh,
attention
no,
to the
no, no,
set, so I don't
no,
know.
no. Well, to your
In
point,
movies there will be
yes,
makeup because the character's not gonna have that big ass tattoo, so it's not
and
that.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But that and to your point, that's true. And I think it's not only like little shit like that. When I sent you the video of niggas wearing silicone masks, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a version of cloning somebody or making a version of somebody that's not yourself or whatever the case may be. Like there are instances where some of these things, and let me see if I can find the video real quick because you asked me, and I just want to see where I found because I had, I every time I see some clone shit, I like it. You know what I'm saying? Because come back to it later. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm bored, it'll definitely fuck my algorithm up.
Just
You know,
just type in clone shit.
just type in clone. I type in cloning and then I type in real because I don't want the fake shit. Like, let me know you did
Type
some
in
real research.
show me some clone shit.
Let yeah, show me some clone shit. Uh, okay, let me see. I'm going through, I'm, I'm going through all my likes. I'm just like, boy, you crazy. Boy, you crazy. Where is this video at? And it doesn't really explain much. But let me see what video I'm gonna play. Switch. And he says like, yo, bro, like I said, it's no longer nothing but spirit. It's okay. Now, okay. I don't know how many people believe Orlando Brown, so I won't even go there. You know what I'm saying?
If we're
Orlando
going
Brown,
down,
my God.
I know we're in the conspiracy corner, but there are limits.
Yeah,
Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown, but
Not that he don't be saying some shit, but after we play his video, we just gotta end the pod. I feel like it's like we just gotta. I had to.
okay. So with that being said, this is the most. This is the most. This is the. I gotta put my hat on when I
This
play
is
it.
the most credible source you got.
Not the credible. Not the most, absolutely not the most credible. But this is what sparks me clicking on the video. This goes back to like captions, thumbnails, whatever the case may be. This what originally would get me to stop on something, and then two men, same information, body switching is real. Huh? Let me see.
Wait a minute. Don't play nothing because it's not on the screen in OBS.
Okay, my bad. He said bodies are not being swapped, souls are being swapped. Yeah, which I'm off. I'm off of this. I smoke too much weed not to fall into conspiracy theory stuff, brother.
True. All right, we can play.
I can play it. All right.
Yeah, but you, Max. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Ready?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Switch people, and he does it right in front of them, and he's like, "Yo, bro, like, which side with spirit? I can really, that's what so everybody has, they make
That guy's face. That guy's face is like this bullshit.
Why is period post? I've been going through this for a while in order to figure out and identify every soul inside of every vessel.
Now, when you watch this, you can't not feel dumber. You know what I'm saying? You can't not feel dumber after motherfucker watching it. But
I'll say this. I'll say this. Spirituality, man. Controlling your energy. Um, Spirit. You know what I want you to do? Behind Her Eyes. Go watch that on Netflix. Behind Her Eyes. I don't even want to tell you what it's about. I know it's gonna be slow. And obviously it's a Europe thing, like it's in UK, but it's worth watching. You and Ivana can watch it together because it's really, really good. It's a mini series, but
okay.
spiritual, talking about soul swapping, and just watch that. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Watch it, please. It's really, really good. Honestly, I don't call everything a masterpiece, but by the time you get to the end of that, yeah, it's one of them of like, wow, it might have you a little shaken.
Wow. Okay. I got two more videos for you of why I got two more videos. One would be one from 2001. I believe
Mm,
if this is documented correctly or if it's not altered. And another one would be the reason why I talked about Kevin Hart. You know what I'm
okay.
saying, and how it was cloned. Because you asked me where I get it from.
Sick and they need a new part, they take it from you.
Kevin Hart's crash that
If you know, you know.
You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
our administration believes that there are loopholes that could allow the cloning of human beings.
Why? Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part, they take it from you.
Kevin Hart's crash, that horrible accident that really, when you see the photos, everyone is wondering how in the world they all survived.
I have a clone. It's about a good three of me.
Kevin and the two other people who were in the car with him.
You've seen people die from far lesser car accidents than that.
The DJs claim that Britney and her boyfriend had been killed in a car
What?
crash on a Los Angeles freeway. Within hours, the internet was buzzing with the tragic news. The Dallas radio station responsible, KEGL, has spent the day apologizing on air for the hoax.
2004, Britney Spears secretly went to work on some music. She wrote an album that she called Original Doll. There were songs where she was talking about feeling like a manufactured pop star. And then there was Mona Lisa.
She wants you to know she's been cloned.
A few years after that, she released a music video, and the video was about her being cloned.
The whole reason you exist is because everyone wants to live forever. It's the new American dream.
We need to talk about this person.
And there's people out there that are rich enough to pay anything for it.
Every Kardashian has a clone stored in Calabasas.
Am I a clone? How would I know if I was the clone or if I was the real one?
I have a clone.
It's like me versus.
Whoa, wait, don't give away too much, man.
Yeah.
The real Kodak is locked up still. The real Kodak is in an island. It's on an island somewhere. I know I'm a clone.
Bro,
I'm a third gen.
I have a clone for music. I have a clone for film. I have a clone for my personal life. I have a clone for my family life as well. So that's how it gets done.
I can say clone. I want to say clone. All right, so there's like a clone.
I think you have to. I think you have to. They kill you if you try to walk away, and they clone you.
Sir.
I have never seen anything like this before. Once again, clones here outside of J-Lo Parkside.
Ain't that true, Tyrone?
I mean, they do put the truth in movies, but it's just a theory, right?
And then the second joint I sent to you is in the Discord. It's the one that was a little bit more, I guess, I don't know if it's fact based. I have to do my research on it, but it was another video that I sent you that was kind of the same thing. And I know you laughing because it's not it doesn't meet the
No, it's not that.
test. Don't pass the test, you know.
It's not that. I just think it's an inside joke. I think it's a Hollywood inside joke. That's what I think it is.
It's a Hollywood. What about aliens? Because Disclosure Day don't look like no inside joke, my nigga.
No, aliens is a whole different story, bro.
I know, but all of these things fall into the same category of conspiracy when you're saying it's an inside joke with cloning, it's an inside joke with, you know, like some of this stuff. Go ahead. It's just.
It would be legal to clone me, for example, tomorrow. And this is the place it's most likely to happen, a leading IVF clinic outside of New York. Behind those walls, there are people with the technology, the ability, and the desire to genetically engineer human embryos, to be the first in the world to successfully clone a human being.
There's no doubt that human beings will be cloned.
Dr. Jacques Cohen, a leader in his field, simply needs the approval of his clinic's ethics committee to make history. So if I had the money, you had the permission, you could clone me tomorrow.
Well, I wouldn't say tomorrow. It'll take a year or two. We could clone you probably within 2 years.
What you're seeing here is an actual cloning taking place at the research facility in Scotland that pioneered the technique. In theory, it's blindingly simple. Here, it's an animal, but just as easily, you can take a cell from a human, a scraping of skin will do. Then, get an egg from a female, remove the nucleus and fuse the two with a spark of electricity. And ta-da, you have an embryo. Implant the embryo in a woman, and 9 months later, you have a carbon copy of the person from whom the skin scraping was taken.
Would it still be a carbon copy if it goes into the woman's embryo, though? That's what I want to know. Because wouldn't her DNA also be included?
No, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I'm not, because I know when people are surrogates,
She's just a vessel.
Yeah. She's just a vessel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because this is IVF, IVF.
It's IVF.
Yeah. Virtual fertilization. So yeah, okay.
And to the point, the nonchalantness of the doctor. Now, it shows that he wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, he
was like,
yeah, 2 years.
I can. I'll be able to do it. Years. But the real reason, to the point, back to your thing of why it was.
He's sitting back like this. And they like, yeah, we cloning niggas.
The reason why they said it would never really be able to be done realistically is because it's unethical. And I'm like, well, what's unethical about it? It's just a risk like any other scientific experimentation, right? Like they're like, so what would be unethical when you've already done the length of knowing that you can do it, already done the length of knowing that you can do it with a living, breathing mammal? Like, what makes it and I think Tom Brady just did it for his dead dog. Like you can bring. I'm saying,
really?
like, shit. Are we looking up everything else, nigga? I think so.
Get
Brady.
me off this planet. Oh my god. Yo, listen.
Yes, Tom Brady revealed his dog Junie is a clone of his late pit bull mix Loa. Loa, whom Tom Brady shared with his ex-wife Giselle, died in December 2023. Wow. Brady used biotech company Colossal Bioscience, which he is an investor in, to collect a blood sample of Loa before she passed and create a genetic replica.
Just from a blood sample, that's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. We draw blood all the time, nigga.
Listen, I'm not saying it's not possible to clone.
I know, but I'm saying the point of view is like, why? I don't know why.
Listen, I'm saying why clone Kevin Hart? Like, that's what I'm saying. Why clone Trippie Redd? Like, those are the things I'm like, that video And maybe you're right. Maybe they are clones. Because that car crash went crazy. Look, and Britney Spears has been acting like she's been malfunctioning for years. So, but I also think that correlation.
Kanye West went through several goddamn body and facial changes to where you think he's
So
on this ninth generation.
I don't think correlation and causation are the same thing. That's the only thing, and that's why I will be like, maybe. But I'm more of like the 5% chance that the guys are cloned, and 95% chance that this is people. It's become like a mythology of it. Oh, that's for me. However, I do think that people have been cloned, 100%. Human beings. I do think that's happening. I don't think that it's like celebrities, but I think it's happening. I think that it's unethical because you're playing God. It's unethical because it becomes a moral thing of like
Now, quick question: why not celebrities? I'm sorry. Like you said, I think people have been closed, but not celebrities. Like, what would be the distinction? And the only reason I'm asking you that is because as we were talking earlier about living as a hologram or whatever the case, a projection. Like sometimes if I was that lady and I had the money, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chidi. I need two of me. Like for no apparent reason, but to
Do you
just
think
be
celebrities are
present.
cloning themselves to get work done for real?
No, not to get work done for real, but let's be honest. If we're talking about that, this celebrity makes a lot of money for no disrespect, but no, and I don't want to invoke anything, but I'm just freestyling here, please. If if Chadwick was cloned.
Hey, you gotta go to the store, right? Otherwise,
But yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
no,
If
sure.
if ch- but yes, I'm not saying to clone to get work done, but I am just for instances like if niggas had a beat on it, I would have cloned Chadwick. Nigga, you make too much money for us. Like Black Panther about to go dummy. Like
Yeah, I hear the
that's
motivation, but I
cynical,
don't. But
but I'm
I
not even
think I
calling
think
myself
you
a
would have that.
cynical reason.
Here's the reason. It's too hot to clone a celebrity. There were so many people that would have had to know and not tell anybody, and keep it under wraps.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And I,
No,
huh?
to like no. We watched the movie Him. Like niggas don't really know what
I
it
didn't
takes. Like
watch him, by
I'm
the
just
way.
okay. Well, in the movie, it kind of is letting you know you don't know what it takes, or you don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what someone is doing. Like you don't know
yeah.
you know what I mean. So like to your point, I hear you, but like
No, you're right. I don't know. If I want to take it to the up to degree, that's where the 5% lives. Or I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know 100%. I can't say that it definitely did not for 100%. You're right. I can't say that 100%, but I just don't feel that way in my gut. But I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong before. And the world's getting more crazier as we get more and more older and advanced. So I know there's a ton of conspiracy theories that are not conspiracy theories. Like look at Epstein Island, that's been confirmed and what they've been doing there. So like I'm with
Harvey
you, bro.
Weinstein,
I'm
right?
with
You
you,
know what
bro.
I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah,
people,
so.
selling their souls, and so I look at it as a
Satanic cults.
satanic cult. These things happen. I'm not sure if it's Illuminati, like I don't know, but I look at it as
Freemasonry is real.
Freemasonry is real. So I actually I don't even want to talk about that.
Skull and bones are real. Like these now to the mythical places that it's taken, but when you go back and do all the connectivity and who's what and even when we're talking about a blood oath in wrestling of the and an Oe family and is it the Maivias, right? It wasn't that like it's a blood oath is what? You know what I mean?
They
Like
didn't really
that's
that's
some
that storyline. They didn't do no
I,
blood
I
oath, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, but blood
but
oath
it,
is what
but
they're
it,
talking
but it,
about.
but it, but it, but
Yes.
it does not them, but to bring a blood oath into something like that, it's real because it happens in some cultures it's bringing in again spirituals, right? It's bringing in like and so there is always some inkling of truth behind some of these. And again, um um there is a Martin Luther King speak quote from when he was in jail to Birmingham, a letter to Birmingham when he was in jail, um, and he spoke about it's not a the quote is this. Excuse me. The damn where's that quote at? I had it. Um, I had it. Damn, I just lost it. And the reason why I brought that up is it says is but as I continue to think about the matter, I gradually gain a bit of satisfaction from being considered an extremist. The question is not whether we will be extremists, but what kind of extremists will we be? Right, and so that's not in the context of what we're talking about, but with that quote it goes back to what I'm saying as far as when you get a level of when you get something that you may believe in, that you might believe in, that you think is an ideology that you can are the swing of extremism is very damaging to the case and the point that you're trying to make. So for me, trying to bring you on board about cloning, I instantaneously turned you off by talking about cloning celebrities because you like, nigga, what the fuck I care about clones? I don't even think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, but now we're breaking it down and I'm like, nigga, they cloning somebody. And you're like, yeah, they could be cloning somebody. I'm like, no, like, let's stop there. Cloning people. Like, they can read brain
I
waves.
think that
like, you know, like, that's
if we're talking about cloning, period, that's what I was trying to get to. Is just like because all for the celebrity thing. The reason why you say, oh, well, why is it unethical is because you're creating a human body, a human life, and who's responsible for that life, and what are you going to use that life for? You know, that who's the parent? Like, who's going to be taking care of this child? Who are you going to harvest organs from this child? Like, are you going to use it for sex trafficking? Like, that's where cloning can go, and it's a human body with a spirit. Even though they're not the original copy, it's a whole nother human body with a spirit and a life that could be used in the most nefarious ways and devious ways. When you got somebody like Elon Musk who's become a trillionaire, which is unfathomable and sickening that that's even possible in this world. This is where we go with these circumstances because it is possible that they will do these things and for the worst type of reasons. You could genetically modifying, just do all these experiments on them. You could start injecting them with all types of viruses or steroids, and just do a bunch of tests on them. Like, it gets sick, when you start to think of why it's unethical, because there are bad people and mad scientists that will, be and getting paid. Oh yeah, I will pay you $1 billion to do this work for me. What if a guy like, yo, clone me a copy of whoever to be my slave? Like, this is what we're getting to,
Well, I mean, that
and no one will ever know. I'm Elon Musk. I can put this person in my freaking dungeon, or I can make a whole separate house on another island where I have a whole bunch of clones just working for me, and they have no idea what real life is. Like, it can go deep when you really think about what's possible.
But that clone is not a person.
It is. It's a person. If you're doing it through IVF like that, it's a person. It's not like if you're creating like an AI robot version, that's debatable.
That's okay. So we got two conversations, right? If we are considering cloning humans, AI.
I think we're talking about cloning the DNA of human and cloning the consciousness of a human. They're two different things.
But those are two different things, yes. But I think how we ended up connecting them is with the Bluetooth conversation of, like, because if you clone a person and then you're using like data collected sound waves to, again, the memory of a scientist, right? Or the
But
memory
can
of, or
you
like,
put brainwaves into somebody's head of that a human being? No, but you can put it into a robot. You can put it into a software. You can't put unless you have the
okay.
neural link, and maybe that's what's gonna be the thing that connects it to a human body. So
Now,
my mind's just
is
going
that
different places.
now, are both of them unethical to you? Because I believe taking my ideas and putting them
Yeah,
into a robot is unethical.
yeah.
Creating another person of me that doesn't have a consciousness of me, I don't know if that's unethical. And to your point,
So you
like,
mean if I take your DNA and create another
yeah,
Chris, that's a human being. Even if there's twins, that's a real thing. Identical twins
okay,
happen, right?
that's true,
And they're
yeah,
both
yeah, yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah,
and they both
yeah,
have different separate lives. They might not even have the same personality. But you
yeah.
can't be like, oh, well, there's extra words in the view. I'm not gonna take the other one. And just do whatever I want to it. No, it's a human being. We got an extra copy. Like, yeah,
But
let's
yeah,
harvest it for organs. Like
it's like a spare, it's like spare
a spare
parts.
tire.
You know,
What the fuck?
I got two
And
1970
and
Corvettes.
that's where they're already
One's in mint condition.
commodifying the human being and the life essence of human beings already. So we're going down a dark lane if we continue to go this path. I don't even like take my mind there because it gets dark. It's
Well,
just, it's uncomfortable.
the reason why I'm bringing this up to you as if it's already happening is the reason why I use celebrities for it to be easy, because they are a commodity. A celebrity that generates revenue for a company who doesn't see that as a human being, when we're literally just talking about the rights of writers and actors, and they had to go on strike, and it was like, yeah, we'll sign that deal, but we're about to fire every fucking human that was associated with you, like the visual artists. Like, they don't see these people as people. They see these people as commodities. They see people as commodities. So it's not far fetched for me to believe that a commodity as like as a celebrity can be reappear after being in a mental institution, like Kanye has said on multiple times, where people have handlers and things of that nature. Like, what even is that about, right? You know what I mean? Like, so like you said, the mind goes into dark places when things are not so much isolated, but when you can be like, oh, there's legitimacy within the connectivity of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to your point of the nastiness of Elon Musk being a trillionaire, and he's already developing a brain chip, and we already know that he has the money. When they just said all it takes is money, we already know the scientific technology has been advanced. We already know that it don't have to be in America. It can be in Scotland. It can be in France. It can be in goddamn Bangladesh.
Argentina,
It can be
clearly,
wherever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it can be anywhere
Peter
that
Thiel's just
money
abandoned
can
there,
fit. Yeah.
where there's less regulation. Rabbit hole goes deep, brother. And
It
that's
does.
why it's just dangerous to go there because you never know. We're just now throwing things in at the wall right now, but I do think that to go to the boundaries of your mind is a good exercise when it comes to the reality of where we are. We have a guy who's walking around as a trillionaire as of today, and it's now we got to ask ourselves, why should a guy have $1 trillion, and what can a guy do with $1 trillion? When we know that this technology has been being developed, when we know that there's possibilities for the ethics being now then tarnished due to corruption and money. So those are the things that I believe could really harm the world, and we probably wouldn't know it for decades if we ever know it, if this stuff was going on. So that's the truth about it, because they have the money to hide all this stuff too.
Ah, man, I would like to thank everybody for joining me finally. I've been trying to get Conspiracy Corner off the ground for so long, man. Chidi never wanted to dive into this with me. He did not want to get into the mud of this
It's
because
episode 30, 3-0. You know, it's about time. So you know, we're not, you know, it didn't take that long, but we're here. You know, and every now and then, you know, you can't get the cable. We got you that damn hat. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to, you know, do this exercise with the brain. But yeah, but at the same time, bringing it back to the first conversation, now I have to go back into my laser focus of the now and control what I control. And I want y'all to too. As you do, you explore all options of conspiracy theories. Then you got to come back to your real life and be like, all right, boom.
Yep.
You can't control what you can't control. Like even if the stuff was going on, so don't let them drive you crazy. You know, because what's right now is all you got. So do what's best for you in the now. And with that being said, I guess we can wrap this up.
Hey, clone, if you hear me, if you see me, come see your kids, boy, or your niece and nephews, whatever they is to you. Come holler at your boy. I mean, your nephews. All you got is nephews, no nieces. Oh, just nephews. Or sons, whatever you is. Come fuck with you. I need the help, nigga. Come edit these motherfucking videos, motherfucker.
Yo, man, you might not even want to be where that clone's at. Shit. At this point, man, shit.
Nigga, my clone might be working for WWE. He might be living my life, motherfucker.
I highly doubt it.
Hey, we was down the street from NXT. You know, NXT was the Lovers Ranch. Nigga, I could have had Jada Parker, nigga.
All right, with that being said, I think it's time to wrap this shit up. All's love. Keep loving your hearts, your mind, your spirit. The Lord knows we all need it, you know. And thank you for joining us on Everything Is, where we talk about everything that matters. We are the Zeitgeist. We are the culture. We'll see you next week. We got a weekend. But we will be giving you daily content as we always do. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace. Follow.
Yes, peace.
If you made it this far, you are a real one. Thank you. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more daily content from your boys from Everything Is.